Morning, Julian.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Why are we recording a show in the morning?
It's very early, isn't it? It's Sunday morning. Why are we? I know, because we've got someone special who we need to talk to. We need to have her on the show, but she can't make it in the evenings.
Okay.
So we thought we'd interview her in the morning.
Okay. In complete contrast to anything we've done before. Good morning to everybody listening to Veterinary Ramblings. Let's see if we are truly awake, because I've got a feeling we might need to be awake for this particular guest. She's a little bit of a live wire, this one.
She's pretty on the ball, isn't she, by all accounts?
Should we talk cats today?
Yeah, I quite fancy talking cats today.
Okay.
I've got my cat up there listening, trying to pick up some tips.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mike Brampton.
And my name is Julian Ho.
Welcome to Veterinary Ramblings.
So, should we have our guest on?
Let's go and get our guest.
Is she here yet?
She has just come in, so quickly.
Well, let's introduce her. So it's Dr. Martina. Now, are you going to take a run up at the surname, or shall I?
Well, I'll let you have a go, and I'll correct it because I've known.
So it's Martina Načeradská.
Very close, actually. Very close. It's Načeradská. Martina Načeradská.
From the Czech Republic, and she's a specialist in feline medicine. So she works mainly with cats, but she's interested in behavioural disorders of both dogs and cats. She's the leader of a team of the first cat-friendly clinic in the Czech Republic. She's a member of the ISFM, which we know very well, the International Society of Feline Medicine. She's a member of the ESVD, the European Society of Veterinary Dermatologists. Oh gosh, we better be on our ball. I know nothing about dermatology. I can't even say it. Dermatology, do you? It's awful.
Not this time in the morning. Skin stuff.
Skin stuff, that's the one. And the PDTE, the Pet Dog Trainers of Europe. Dr. Martina's published various papers on canine and feline medicine topics.
Yep. She's
lectured to breeders, to the public, to vets and to nurses.
Yep.
And she actively participates in seminars and conferences. And she's also very active in the fight against puppy farming. So we could maybe chat to her about that today.
I'd like to chat about that, actually. That would be quite good. So she's here. Shall we get her in?
Let's get her in.
Let's get her in. Bum, 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 bum.
She's also really into Czech food, and I want to learn more about that.
Well into Czech food. Martina.
Martina.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Veterinary Ramblings.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good
Hello,
morning.
you.
How are you?
How are you?
Thank you.
Wow.
Good to see you. Normally about now we'd be having a gin, but I'm having a cup of tea.
And I've got a decaf coffee. Is that a cat on your mug there?
Yes, it is.
Lovely. Is one of yours or?
Look like I had the same as on the picture, but it's not mine cat on the mug.
Right. And your cat earrings as well?
Yes. And the cat necklace.
Oh, lovely. Very nice.
Crazy cat lady with all the things which are together coming with that.
So I had a run up at your surname and didn't get it quite right, but Mike then improved it for me. So the accent over the C.
Yes.
And what's that accent called?
Ch.
Mm-hmm. So changed it to a ch. Načeradská.
Yes.
Načeradská. There we go.
There you go.
Great. There we go.
He's practiced that in 2 minutes and got it right. It took me about 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
But in fairness, you probably had a drink each time, hadn't you, Mike?
Probably. I've got a drink this morning, actually.
Have you? Look, I'm gonna have a gin and tonic.
Oh yeah, good for you.
Wow.
It's a bit early. And because it's early, I'm having a non-alcoholic gin.
Mm-hmm.
You've got decaffeinated coffee. I'm having non-alcoholic gin.
Fair enough.
So let's see what this is like. Quite excited about this. It's a botanical
All
It
right.
has rock samphire, sage, citrus, and Cornish sea salt in it.
And it tastes nothing like gin.
It's very nice.
Well, good. So there's a hearty advert for non-alcoholic gin. Not. Never mind, Julian. It was worth a try, wasn't it?
Worth a try, I think. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a special distillation, isn't it? It's only about £50 a bottle as well.
It's about that. Yeah. Quite. So now, Martina, tell us about gin in the Czech Republic. Is it a big thing there, or is it vodka?
You know, I was gin virgin before I met Mike, so he. So he was the first one who taught me how to drink gin. So now I have few bottles of gin, but I cannot drink alcohol anymore for a while. So I can just observe my bottles of gin.
That's all I do. That's why we've got so many in the cupboard, because they're so pretty.
Absolutely. Sometimes I'll phone Mike the morning after one of our veterinary rambles and say, I wish I'd just observed that gin last night.
Well, this
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
This will be a difference for this show, won't it? Because we're not at the end of a busy working day. We have been going about our business.
Yeah. And we're refreshed and ready to go and
yes,
raring to.
Yes, absolutely. Refreshed, ready to go, and sober.
It'll never work.
It won't.
It's something they said we should never ever do.
Yeah, the producers did tell us not to do this, but who cares? Who cares? Yeah. Julia was working through all of your qualifications a moment ago, Martina.
Yes.
And one thing that struck me was that apart from doing all your formal feline or veterinary feline certification, you've also taken time out to go and do formal behavioural qualifications as well.
Now I'm doing the feline behavior education with ISFM.
Right, okay. Okay, but you've also done dogs as well, haven't you?
Yes, with Pet Dog Trainers of Europe. It was about dog nature, behavior, and the language, and how to train them nature way.
Right. Okay. So we've discussed this a couple of times on the show, and we've had a couple of guests that have been involved in this, and I'm still looking for somebody who would advocate the dominance theory of training, where you have to show that you're the alpha and show the dog that you're the boss and that they will respond accordingly.
Because a lot of our clients believe very strongly that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, but that's the most stupid way how to do it. First,
it's funny, they do seem to get bitten quite a lot, my clients, so.
Yeah, because it's really stupid way how to work with dogs. First book I translated in Czech language from English was Dog Dominance, Fact or Fiction. And it was written by, I don't remember, I cannot recall the name of the author now, but it's a great book where he explains everything, why it's stupid theory. For example, you should be the first one who is eating because you are the boss. So every time you are going to feed your puppy, you eat a cookie and then you give the food to your dog, and the dog, imagine what the dog is thinking. Or you have to step in your dog's bed to show the dominance, that you are dominant. And then from the dog point of view, it's really, really stupid. And
absolutely. And you must take the bowl away halfway through their meal.
Yeah.
And pretend to eat some of it and then hand it back and then stare at them.
Yeah. Imagine somebody's doing that to you. I would be biting somebody. Actually, it happened to me. It was an official lunch in French Ministry of Agriculture in France, in Paris. And I was having food. And I have very strong food guarding issues. And there was that guy who was trying to take the food from me, and I start screaming. And actually, I didn't hurt his hand with the fork, but I was that close doing this. And imagine all the guys with the ties and with the suits, and me like, don't touch my food, don't touch my food.
I like the idea of the fork going into the back of his hand.
Me too.
Yes, hopefully it didn't have to be amputated. So I'm really with dogs in it. It's really stupid theory. The theory is that the dogs in the groups, they are families. So the alpha pair, it's not alpha pair because they kick the asses of the all others. Are alpha pair because they are really kind parents and they are taking care of the offspring. So the alpha is the one who is the kindest, the more protective. That's not the thing we think it is. Like, because this stupid idea comes from observing wolves in a zoo. And in the zoo, they behave completely different. They fight for the food because they are artificially closed in small area and they cannot leave, because in the normal, in the nature, some members of the pack, they leave if they wish to. In the zoo, they can't, so they have to fight. So that's the difference. It will be like if we observe the people in a prison and we say, it's how it works in the normal way. So people behave like they are in prison all the life, and it's a stupid idea. It's the same with the dogs and wolves and observing them in a zoo environment.
And yet it's still amazingly popular, isn't it? Which is something that is so frustrating that I see pretty much every day that clients will say to me, "Oh, we're following, you know, the proper ways of training. Sit, will you sit? Right. Okay. Here's a biscuit. I'm going to pretend I have some first, and then I won't give it to him this time." No, what you're doing there is you're teasing him and giving him mixed messages, and that's why he's going to bite you. Do you deal? We had Sif on a few weeks back, a lovely Icelandic vet who does most of her behaviour training distantly, so using Zoom meetings and phone meetings. You're still doing face to face.
Yeah, I'm doing still face to face, and my education was also hands-on education. And I'm trying to explain people how not to behave around dogs. Yeah. And sometimes it's crazy. That's why I started translating books. I wasn't good with English. Barry Eaton was the name of the guy who wrote the book, the Dominance book.
Barry Eaton. I read a book about dominance by Cynthia Payne, but maybe that was a different subject.
Yeah. And I don't think that was dog dominance, Julian.
Dogging came into it.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. And for our American listeners, Cynthia Payne was a brothel owner back in the 70s who got embroiled in some government business and ran a entertaining brothel in the East End of London, I understand.
Madam Sin.
Something like that. There we go. Why are we talking about brothels and prostitutes and Payne?
Because when I tried to Google the dominance theory,
okay.
I see. And now whenever you go on Google, you get all sorts of strange adverts popping up all over your desktop.
I do, and my wife's going to look at my computer later and slap me hard.
Probably. And you deserve it.
I'm not surprised.
How would you say dog ownership is generally in the Czech Republic? Are they responsible owners?
Depends. It depends, but we are the country with the most higher number of the dogs to the population. So we have lots of dogs, like many people have two or more, and they love them. But sometimes they go to the dog trainer who is really old school. And unfortunately, we have still very much old school dog trainers because they don't study in foreign languages. They study the books in Czech, and it's repeated the same garbage with the dominance theory. And you can even get bitten into the face. I have heard about a case because one of the dominant stupidities are roll the dog on the back and scream into his face. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Roll the dog on the back and scream into his face that you are dominant. And one Dalmatian dog has bitten his owner to the nose and actually opened the nose. So the woman has to go to the surgery because the dog has bitten her so hard. So she has to have plastic surgery of her face.
Now surely that's proof of Darwinism.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
not dog dominance. And if you've just joined the show, we are not advocating that this is how you train your dog. We are advocating this is how you do not train your dog or behave with your dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible.
We have a similar problem. We have a similar problem with anaesthesia textbooks in the UK too.
I can understand.
Where
Yes, but one of the ways of telling whether your pet is asleep under the anaesthetic is you shout at it.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
No.
I wouldn't try.
We're going to talk more about Czechoslovakian food. I say we were. You don't know this because you haven't been part of the thought process behind all this. But I noticed in one of the emails you sent us, you spoke a bit about Czech food, and I'm so sorry I said Czechoslovakian. See, I'm very old, so I say these sort of things. Czech Republic food. A lot of the food, is that traditional Czech food, or is there a big sort of modern growth in developing new foods? Or
sometimes yes, somebody is doing some experiments, but typical Czech food is pork, some dumplings, and the cabbage. That's typical Czech food. It's really fat. You need to drink beer with it to be able to process properly.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
And then candle sauce, not made from candles, and the bird thing. These are typical Czech meals, and sweet dumplings. We have them once. Dumplings with the plums or with the raspberries, and with the sugar and some fat on it.
Suet.
Yeah.
Suet, yeah. So this is the kidney fat, really white fat. Now there are vegetarian options for that these days.
Yeah, but I don't like them.
No,
I'm
not
not
as nice.
I'm not vegetarian. I'm like cat. I'm almost obligatory meat eater.
I've never been to the Czech Republic. Have you been, Mike?
I have. I've been, thank you very much indeed. Thanks to Martina. And I've been a couple of times to the Czech Republic, to Martina's lovely hometown, Prague. And we had an absolute whale of a time. Well, I did anyway. I don't know whether Martina did.
I did. It was amazing, especially our eating evenings.
Oh, well, I wasn't.
Oh.
Go on then.
Yes, so tell me about Czech food. Or tell me about those eating evenings.
We have special translations with Mike, like candle sauce.
Candle sauce, yes.
It has special name, but we cannot remember it. So we came to a restaurant and we ordered candle sauce, and the guy who was making the order was looking at us like, what? And then I explained that I don't know how to translate it in English, so I call it candle sauce. Or the bird thing, the bird.
Bird at the, is it the Parliament restaurant?
Yeah.
Parliament restaurant in town, bird. Oh, that's good stuff.
It has a completely different name.
Yeah, so, perhaps better explain exactly what bird and candle sauce actually is, shouldn't
we? Yes, because I'm looking here on Wikipedia at Czech Cuisine, and it's not mentioning bird.
It's not bird. It's something completely different. But it's a part of the meat rolled over, pickles, some sausage, some eggs. And it's served with rice, and it's amazing, especially at restaurant Parliament. They are doing really great ones.
Oh, that sounds really good.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Lots of stuff all wrapped and then cooked, and that's probably my favourite. I think candle sauce tastes nothing like candles. Nothing
Really
at all like
good.
No.
Because I'm thinking a bit waxy there.
Yeah,
So
no, it's a very rich sauce. It's a beautifully rich, smooth. I can't really describe it. Creamy sauce.
Yeah, it's made out of vegetables. I don't know. It's carrot.
Pureed vegetables. That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the cream and a nice piece of meat.
Oh, wonderful.
It's
Wonderful. Like a vegetable terrine almost.
Yeah, yeah.
No, because it's a sauce.
It's mixed.
Oh, I see. Right. So
that
it's mashed and pureed and then
pureed right down
the
to
sauce.
a thick, pourable sauce, and it's delicious.
And
you have quite spicy foods there as well, do you?
Not much. Not that much.
No, not at all. Not at all. Here you go. This is a picture that Martina took me to take early one morning on. Can you see that, Julian? Picture.
I remember it. We get up early and then we went to make photos on Charles Bridge.
That's right. We went down to watch the dawn come up on one of the oldest bridges in Europe, and certainly one of the most spectacular bridges, which is the Charles Bridge in the centre of Prague. And this is the Charles Bridge. These are all saints, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's statues of saints laid out every 20 meters along the side, along the parapet, and it's probably one of the most photographed bridges there is. But Martina took me down there at dawn before we did lectures, and took a whole load of photographs. There it is in black and white.
This one is amazing.
So, and you've got
so it actually started being built in 1357. My goodness me, that's an old bridge.
Yeah, it is indeed. And then there's one other place that we did go to before lectures, which is library. Which library was this one you took us to? Because you felt I needed to do some reading and work before we did our lectures.
It's Sterhof, not cemetery, with the nuns.
Monastery.
Monastery, yes, Sterhof Monastery. It's the second biggest library in Prague. There is a bigger one, but you cannot make photos in there. So we prefer this one because we can make photos there.
Yeah, and as you can see, this highly decorated dome ceiling. It's almost better than the Sistine Chapel.
It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? And so when does that date from?
Probably similar time, isn't it, Martina?
I don't remember. I'm really bad with history. I was completely ignorant at school. My husband still don't understand why I can pass the grimace. Because the only thing I was studying was chemistry and biology. That was interesting for me. Everything was like blah.
Well, they were the fun bit.
Our teacher from history, when we were having like a last day at school, he told me that I can never tell anybody he taught me history because I was so bad. He said, "You can never mention me that I taught you." And when my husband traveled with me to Great Britain, we went after the places where Midsummer Murder were shot. We borrowed a car, and it was so funny because it was my first time driving on the opposite side. So every time I was driving to the grass or on the side, and my husband was like, watch out, you are out of the road. And I was like, shut up, you are stressing me out. And he was quiet for a while. And then suddenly when I was going away from the road again, he was doing like, bleh. That was his sign how to let me know that he is almost out of the road with his side.
It's less threatening than move over, stop, look out.
Yes.
Nah.
One of your passions is puppy farming, or at least one of your passions is trying to stop puppy farming.
Yeah.
And there's a lot at the moment, isn't there, in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, Czech Republic is one of the countries of the producers. So there are many places where they produce the dogs. Recently, I was with the police and state veterinary administration in one such place, which was horrible. It's really, I cannot describe it with the words, but the dogs staying there suffer. We were not able to breathe in these rooms filled with really dirty air.
Yeah.
And the dogs were living in their own
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah.
I was doing my best to explore them and help the police to take them out from this environment. And I'm also in contact with state veterinary administration and the police to help them to understand what's going on there, and how to educate them, how to find out. Or we do some speeches at the university for students how to get the puppy not from the puppy farm, because people selling them have typical code how they behave. They don't have the valid contract. They are telling them the fairy tales how they get the dog, that nobody can enter their place. Now with the COVID, they have it easier because they say, oh, we don't want to transfer the COVID. So we will bring the puppy for the gas station to the gas station so you can get it at the gas station. So yeah, I hate it because all the dogs, they are coming from these places, they are ill. And if they are not ill physically, they are ill mentally, because imagine growing up in such really bad environment with not enough nutrition for the brain. So they are really ill.
It is awful, and it goes on, I think, in every country. At the moment, due to COVID, there's a lot more of it because, as you say, it's easier for people to get away with it.
Yep.
and to pretend that it's quite natural to meet someone at a service station or a gas station to swap over puppies. And also there's a huge increase in demand at the moment due to the pandemic.
That was one of my things. I was speaking for the radio broadcast last week, telling people, do not get the puppy or the dog just because you feel lonely at the COVID situation, because it makes the puppy farming grow because there is demand. And after 2-3 months, the COVID will be over, probably, hopefully. And the dog will stay home alone for like 8-12 hours. And it's not fair.
This is true. And invariably people say, well, if I didn't take him home, then he'd go back into this awful place and suffer. And so they're actually extending that myth that they're helping.
Yeah, because they are paying. They are doing that because of getting money. So everybody who is paying such people is helping this nasty business.
Sorry, Mike?
Have you had any examples yourself, Julian? Have you had any clients?
Yes. We had a puppy about a month ago that was bought at a service station. The breeder lived quite a long way away and said to the purchaser, oh, look, I'm coming down your way, actually. I'll be about 50 miles away from you at the weekend. Why don't we just meet up? I can meet you at the service station. You can't come to the house anyway because of the COVID. So I can just meet you at the service station. And they said to me, now we'd been told that actually this was a bad idea, but it made perfect sense because they were actually coming straight down this way. It wasn't as though they had suggested this meetup in the first place. I thought, how foolish can you be? And this puppy came to us with parvovirus.
No.
And sadly, it didn't make it.
Most of them.
Yeah.
I had cases like this too. And the funny part is many dogs are transferred even from Slovakia, which is nearby. And if one puppy from the transfer has parvo, everybody is going to get it too. And the problem is it stays in a car. So if they are using the same car for transfers, they are just transmitting it to other dogs.
Yeah.
Every transfer is transfer of parvovirus dogs after that.
It's awful. It's absolutely dreadful, and we're going some way to stopping it with the puppy contract that was written up. I think that's a joint contract, wasn't it? The RSPCA had a lot to do with it, but I think they consulted the international, the European dog associations, canine associations, but it's educating clients. That's the problem. Educating owners to say, well, actually, don't get a puppy unless you've seen the mum, you've seen the place they live in, you're getting it at that residence, it's had vaccinations, and it's had a health check. And what else would you advise?
Usually they lie about the age of the puppy. So they say the age of the puppy is like 8 weeks or 9 weeks. And when I check the mouth, the teeth, is actually like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And if they have the sucking reflex, you put the finger into the mouth and they just suck into it, they are not more than 3 weeks. So something like this. The Chihuahuas are very popular here, and then they have fontanella.
Yes.
Not close. The bones of the skull are not all together. So that's another thing. Or they have hernias. They don't have any testicles. When we checked the dogs in the puppy farm, there was one hermaphrodite even.
Was there really?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yes. So they are missing parts of the legs. One dog was missing eye. So it's really, they can have anything you can imagine as a inherited disease, or they. I call it only in Latin mandibula angusta. Mandibula angusta is the mandible is too narrow. So they bite with their canine to the upper palate, and it hurts them. So it's really, really easily inherited. So there were several dogs like this.
Yeah, a lot of the politicians in our country have that as well.
Yes. We were talking about dog training.
Yes.
And things like that. Well, I've been trained by a dog, and so if you'll excuse me for a moment, because Poppy is telling me that she wants something.
Okay, you Pop. She's got you very well trained. Hello, Poppy. Hello, Poppy.
Hello. Mike is very well trained owner.
Very well trained indeed. See, we have a little dog that I rescued. The owner sadly was unable to look after him anymore, so we took him on a little while back. And he's not a very good walker. He's got quite deformed front legs. Again, I think he was farmed, and she took him on because she felt sorry for him.
Yeah.
And this is the real problem. There is a huge emotional aspect to it that owners are naturally going to want to follow. Their heartstrings are being tugged, if you like. And so it's almost too late. By the time they've seen the puppy and made their minds up, it's almost too late at that stage to do anything about it. So we've got to really educate them, the future ones.
Yep.
And accept that actually we've probably missed out on the ones that are already at this moment in time looking for a puppy, because they've already decided they're going to get one and they're going to fall in love with it immediately, and then that'll be theirs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love on my teaching at the university, because I'm teaching future dog trainers. So I'm telling them, please tell the owners you will be teaching that they mustn't do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, and I have really nice pictures of dogs and cases which I treated. So they are the really scared after that, and I hope it will stay in their minds, and they will just pass it on the future dog owners. Or
That's brilliant, and I think that's the only way to do it, isn't it? To teach people, to educate people,
Yeah.
the better ways of doing things.
Yeah.
There's no point, unfortunately, in telling people off for doing the wrong thing, because then we just alienate them as owners.
Yeah.
So we have to make the best of what we've got.
Yeah.
Do people do people find vets expensive in the Czech Republic?
Me, yes. Because it was like approximately 10 years I was working like almost for free. I loved the job, and I was afraid to ask for the money, but I was entering the education. I was buying the stuff for my practice. So when I set up a new clinic, I have now 2 years a new clinic. Mike saw it, the new one with the room for training people also. So I have to ask more money, because it was like either them or me. So I had to do it. I had to change the money I'm asking for. And some people are complaining that I'm expensive. Some people comment on Facebook or Google something, whatever, that I'm the most expensive vet in Prague. But in the second sentence, they say, yeah, but she find out what's going on. So,
yes. There is a cost to everything, and it would be lovely to be able to do everything for free, because actually the money gets in the way. But we can't. We have to buy new equipment. We have to buy wonderful, fantastic equipment like pulse oximeters and cat Dopplers and anesthetic monitors and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. This is Solitaire.
Ah, you have a black cat.
Hello.
My black cat's name is Gloom.
Gloom.
Gloom, yeah. I will show him. He's sleeping. You see him?
Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Yeah, there he goes.
There we go. Well, we moved the little the cat climbing frame. It's normally over there in the corner, but we have a Christmas tree there, so we moved it here. And this is why Solly now loves when I'm eating. She loves sitting behind my shoulder and seeing if any little scraps somehow fall off my plate.
I thought that tree was the cat climbing frame.
We're hoping it won't be. Very much hoping. That's why we don't have any tinsel on it. We don't want cats to get tinselitis.
Yeah.
So there's everything here is basically cat friendly.
Oh, tinsel.
So friendly, they love it.
You mean they eat the tinsel and it gets their throat and they get tinselitis?
Tinselitis. It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great joke, actually, that one, Julian. Yes, thank you.
Martina, you have the first cat-only clinic in the Czech Republic.
It's not cat only, it's cat friendly. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, cat friendly.
Okay.
Because I still cannot have cat only clinic yet, because we have really nice dog owners coming, so I cannot close for dog owners. But I love cats. Cats are my passion the whole life. The most of my life.
Yes.
Honest. And I was trying to find a way how to take care of them the best way I can. And then I found about the cat friendly project. So we joined in, and my new clinic is also cat friendly.
Right. And are there many other practices that have followed suit?
I think in Czech Republic, we are now 5, the whole country.
Gosh, not many then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And yeah, sorry, Mike, you were.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back, Martina. Did we meet? We met first at the ISFM, didn't we?
Yes.
It's an international feline meeting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Wow.
And so your cat-only clinic, and the clients are presumably more willing to travel to you because they know that their cats are going to be in an environment that makes sure they are less stressed.
Yes, and
than a non-cat friendly practice.
Yeah. We use Feline, we use valerian root. Cats love it. They roll over in it. They look high. It's so funny.
Just in case viewers or listeners don't know, Feline is the name of a pheromone that's produced. Now, pheromones are known as distant or air transmitted hormones that actively stimulate various parts of the brain in all of us, actually, but there are species specific pheromones. So the hormones that travel at a distance and can be then used, particularly in the way of Feline, to calm cats. They're known as appeasement hormones. There's a similar one for dog called DAP, which is dog appeasing pheromone. And they do, or they can work very, very well indeed, provided you've got a generally calm atmosphere anyway. Yeah. So you can't have, I don't know, Iron Maiden playing at full volume and expect a cat to calm down by spraying Feline.
Yeah, it's not working like this. Actually, the spray has alcohol as a transfer molecule. So you have to use it 15 minutes before you put the cats nearby. And we also use gabapentin in highly stressed cats. So sometimes I had really nice photo of a cat which was kicked out of the big clinic because he was dangerous to the staff. So I asked the owner to give him gabapentin, and then the cat was completely different. We were able to do cystocentesis. We were able to draw the blood from his veins, and then he fell asleep in my equipment. So he was like that, lying on his back, sleeping. And I made a photo of him, and the owner was like, okay, I should send this photo to the clinic where he was kicked out to be dangerous to the staff.
Gosh, poor thing.
Yeah, because it depends how you behave around the cats. If the cat is stressed, we use gabapentin. We are trying to make our best to let the cat feel good at the clinic to let us do our job.
It's a good trick, actually, the gabapentin one. It does work very well, doesn't it?
And interestingly enough, there's a lot of evidence to say, I mean, there was a concern initially with the use of gabapentin that it would affect things like blood pressure, and that if you've got a cat that was on gabapentin, it would artificially lower the blood pressure that you're trying to measure in a conscious cat to see whether it's hypertensive and susceptible to things like kidney disease. But there is good evidence to say that gabapentin does not actually adversely affect the blood pressure readings that you get.
Great, good.
I have to say I found that surprising, but seemingly there is evidence to suggest that it's okay. So, whilst I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for every cat, if you've got
what we see with gabapentin, it is that the blood pressure is like 10 or 20 lower.
It's only, yeah, okay. So it's actually slightly lower then.
Yeah.
But it's only slightly lower.
Yeah. It's like when the cat, because when the cat is anxious or afraid, then the blood pressure will be high.
Yeah.
So when we calm down the cat, the blood pressure will be like normal.
Yeah.
So without gabapentin, they will have like 100, 140, 150. And with gabapentin, they will have something like 120 or 30.
Okay. So it takes the edge off.
Yeah.
It just calms the animal down a little bit. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Removes the white coat syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I wonder if we could persuade you, Martina. Do you know anything about our challenge that we're running at the moment?
No.
We've been asking, not to put you on the spot at all. We've been asking our guests if they'd be interested in doing a challenge which is called 60-second CPD.
Okay.
Which is to, well, it does what it says on the tin. It's to tell us something, some aspect of your clinical interest in 60 seconds.
I hope I will make it in 60 seconds because sometimes I speak too much.
I could never believe that, Martina.
Okay, so you're up for this?
Yes.
Okay, so
Brilliant.
That's fantastic news. What do you want to do your 60-second CPD on?
I will talk about cat basic needs in an environment at home. What cats need to be happy
What a
at
cat
home.
be happy. Okay, right. Well, let's get the timer up then, and let's have from one of the most highly qualified feline vets on the planet. Let us have Martina Načeradská on 60 seconds on how to keep your cat happy.
The most important things are 5 things that the cat needs. We need to provide them with safe place to sleep or to rest in. We need to provide them with the key resources like food, water, toileting areas, scratching areas, play areas, and resting and sleeping areas. It means they shouldn't have food next to the toilet because we also do not get with the food to the toilet. So we cannot do it with our cats too. We need to provide them with opportunity to play and do the predatory behavior. And we need to provide them with a positive contact with ourselves because we cannot be unpredictable. That's really stressful for them. And we need to provide them environment which respects their smells, so we cannot wipe up all their marks because they will be angry.
Done it. Wow.
Wow.
That was fantastic.
Excellent.
That was
Well done, Martina.
brilliant. Brilliant. That was amazing. Very, very simple or simplistic, I should say, ideals, but actually very important, all of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And also very logical if you think about them. I mean, for example, the don't put food anywhere near their litter trays. It's quite obvious. And yet the number of times I go to people's houses and I see just that. They've got a cat corner. They've got the litter tray. They got the food.
Yeah.
And you think, well, do you want to eat your dinner on the loo or
Nobody
not?
does that. And we are forcing our cats doing it.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention one thing, food and the water, they shouldn't be nearby because cats don't drink at the place where they have the water. They have the food.
Mm-hmm.
They should have it on the separate areas because then they are desert creatures. So they drink on their own less than the other animals like dogs. So we should, if we would like to make them drink more, we should put the food to drink bottles around the flat and separate from the food. That was one thing I forgot to mention.
Right. And there's a theory, isn't there, that cats don't like water bowls that their whiskers can touch the sides of. Is that right, or is that just
Yeah, that's right, because they are so sensitive. They are, the whiskers are really thick. And they have vessels around the bases and the nerves. So everything touching them makes this place irritated. So they should have the bowl full or wide so that they don't have to touch with the whiskers the sides of the bowl.
That's why I drink from big mugs.
But you don't have any whiskers.
I have.
Oh, there's whiskers. There's whiskers, okay. Yeah. Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. See? So. and I dribble down them sometimes as well. So.
Create a meal for later.
Yes. There we go. Yeah. I don't like things touching my whiskers.
No, generally I don't. No.
Has to be me. Yeah. There we go. I don't know. So 60-second CPD.
That's brilliant. You nailed it.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Rose to the challenge. So yeah, so all sounding very good.
That's proving to be pretty good, that.
What-
I think that deserves a certificate, don't you?
I
Certificate.
yeah,
Mm.
I think so. Yeah, I think. I mean, one of the things that we do is obviously now. I don't know how many points our Czech Republic listeners will be getting for listening to Veterinary Ramblings, because they were very generous. The college were very generous with the points they gave us for our weekend seminars, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So they probably won't get as many points for Veterinary Ramblings, but every piece of CPD that we deliver, of course, we do need a certificate to say that we have delivered some CPD. So have you got a certificate for us then, Julian?
I have.
Wow.
I have. There we go. And
Oh,
it actually says certificate, I believe.
yeah, certificate.
So now, hopefully certificate for further learning, is it, or continued learning?
Oh, it's certificate of professional studying.
Professional studying. That's right. I can't remember what I put in.
Does that count? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Excellent. So it says this certifies that you, dear friend and listener, have put up with, followed, and otherwise endured veterinary ramblings. Now, it may be that Google didn't translate this correctly. So, Martina, does it actually say veterinary ramblings, or is that not quite right?
It says veterinary ramblings, but in Slovakian language.
No, does it?
Oh,
It's Slovakian.
Oh, it said Czech on Google. Well, there we go. Google, you're rubbish. You're not rubbish, Google.
I know the word because I'm half Slovak, so I know it. But it's in Slovakian.
I have to say I was worried it was sort of veterinary hanging around on the corner waiting for something to happen.
No,
I was a bit concerned.
No, it's right word, but in Slovakian.
Wrong language. Right word, wrong language. Okay, fair enough.
And so just to talk around this is me in the car with Martina on her first drive in the UK,
Oh my God.
trying to say nah, but I couldn't. These are Martina's cats who decided it was safer to get their own moped and drive that
Mm-hmm.
rather than be in the car. Now, that's how to find Mike's house. That's his direction there. Okay. Now, I noticed as well in your interests list that you're into art.
Yes.
And I thought I'd show you. I'm in no way artistic, but my wife and I do make birthday cakes, and so that's
that's a birthday cake.
That's a birthday cake.
Wow, that's amazing.
With my daughter had a climbing party that I organised for her, so we did a climbing cake.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
And finally, that's to show that I also try and take pictures of the moon, because I know that you've been getting into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with the cameras these days, the power of the magnification of the camera lenses, you can get some really good moon shots.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yes.
Brilliant.
That's super stuff.
So that's the CPD certificate. Now, I don't know how you have to qualify for CPD. Well, no, it's not. Is it in the Czech Republic? Would that do? Can you just give a certificate? You go to the lecture.
Yep.
You have a certificate, and that's it. Because in England, or in the UK, in fact, we have to do something extra to gain the CPD requirement. We have to reflect on the CPD.
We do.
Mm-hmm. We don't.
Would you join us in a moment's reflection on that CPD?
Yeah.
Okay. Jolly good. Let's reflect on the CPD we have received and given today. It's always interesting to see who's going to break first.
Yeah. I know. I was wondering whether I just raise my eyebrow, Roger Moore-wise, but I can't do the right one.
Can't do that one.
Well.
You did it the wrong way around, didn't you? Have you got a joke for us today?
I've got a joke.
Yeah.
I've got a joke. Yes, and I was thinking of the joke when I saw that beautiful library that you showed us in the monastery.
Right.
And it's about. Are you familiar with the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Martina?
Yes. Mhm.
Yep. So there's a knock at the convent door one morning, and the nun opens the door to find the seven dwarfs standing outside, and they're all giggling and laughing, and one of them pushes Dopey forward and says, "Go on, you ask her." And Dopey says, "I don't like it. Go on, ask her." And he says, "All right, have you got a nun about that height?" And the Mother Superior says, "No, we haven't." I'm in the wrong place. Well, you're not in the wrong place. This is the only convent in this area. So, if there's a nun you've met, she'd be here. She's about that height, maybe a bit higher with a wimple. And I was going, no, I'm afraid we really haven't. And all the other dwarves are giggling away. And Dopey says, "Is there any point in going to check?" And the Mother Superior says, "No, look, we honestly haven't got a nun that high." At which point, Doc steps forward and says, "I'm sorry, Dopey, you're just going to have to go to the zoo and apologise for the misdemeanour with the penguin."
That's nice.
Actually, no, bringing this up to topic, we've got a global pandemic. You are aware, of course, that Snow White only has 6 dwarfs now. Because Sneezy's under self-quarantine. I don't know.
Bless.
I don't know at all. Anyway. Martina, can we say thank you very, very much for giving up your Sunday morning for us to join us?
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Fantastic.
Lovely to meet you, Martina.
You too. It was
Absolutely
fun.
fabulous. And you nailed that 60-second CPD. That was really, really good. Nice, concise, good, simple, good information there. So if anybody is listening or watching Veterinary Ramblings and you've liked what we've said and what we bring to you, please remember to click like, share, follow. You can join us and you catch up with us on Patreon. We're on Facebook and iTunes and Spotify. Just join in. Send us a message. We'll happily return and reply, and may even add in some ideas that you send us. Happy to hear from you. So on behalf of Veterinary Ramblings and Martina Načeradská, we'd like to say, raise a glass or a mug.
Or a mug.
And may your dog go with you.
May your dog go with you.
There we go. And cut!
There we go. Time.
Did you enjoy yourself, Martina?
Yeah, that was funny. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming onto the show. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good. Lovely to meet you.
You too.
There we go. Brilliant stuff.
Sure.
Anyway, well, enjoy what's left of your Sunday, Martina.
Thank you.
And thank you ever so much again. Very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And hope to see you in the Czech Republic one day.
Yeah, you have to come with Mike probably. We will make a big group in a restaurant.
Have some of those. Look, I've got candle soup for later. So I'm looking forward to that. Very nice. I wasn't going to eat it, but you made it taste so nice.
Let me know how you like it.
No, Julian.
No?
No, pureed vegetables, not candles.
All right. Okay.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Martina, thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Regards to Andrew.
Bye.
Thank you.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, she's super. Absolutely super. And great fun to work with. And she's got some. I mean, it's interesting that you put a Slovakian word on the CPD.
Yes.
We're not to know. You're not to know, are you? If Google says
no, I put it in Google Translate and it came up with that.
That's all right. But Martina, as you've gathered, has got some of her own special English sayings.
Yes.
Things like candle sauce and bird. And there was one really funny one because we're talking about a cleaner for the practice, getting a cleaner in to do stuff around the practice. And Martina picked up on the conversation, I think it was the next day, and she was saying, so what are you going to do about getting a tidy woman? And of course, tidy woman was her way, and she's actually
Transliteration.
she just sent me a message saying, thank you, that was great fun.
Ah, great. Isn't that
Bless her.
lovely?